Well, hi again, everybody. The high school football season is on. The Robert E. Lee Red Raiders are on the road at Lufkin on Friday night at Abe Martin Stadium, looking for win number 1 after quite a game this past Saturday night at the Trinity Mother Frances Football Classic. It went to overtime. Red Raiders lose a tough one to Sulphur Springs, 35-34. Coach Darrell Piske is with us. I guess folks who are at that game are going to want to know right off the bat, so we might as well get right into it. You made a pretty interesting decision to go for 2.
Yeah, I'm sure some people were wondering. They've all read the book, about what you should do. But, really at the time, and probably would do it again, had the same situation. Trying to get these guys, we felt like most of the game they kind of played not to lose. They were playing tentatively. And we want these guys to understand it, and we talked about it yesterday. Sometimes in life, nobody's going to give you anything. I mean, sometimes there's going to be something you want, you're just going to have to go take it. And so we felt like it was a good opportunity. Of course, they hadn't stopped us for less than 3 yards hardly all night. And so we felt like it's a good opportunity to teach the kids that, hey, we're going to play to win. And I explained to them yesterday, if it's a district game or playoff game, I'm not making that same decision unless I feel like that's the only way in the world we've got a chance to win the football game. But for that thing, if it works out, it's a great call. If it doesn't work out, I'm not very smart, and so that's just kind of the way it goes. But we just felt like, and I think the team understood once we did it, that behind that old line, I ought to be able to line up and get 3 yards behind them, maybe just once. But they're going to be good for us, and we want them to know we got that confidence in them. That's why we did what we did.
Well, and again, for those not familiar with the situation, the game went to overtime. You scored late and sent the game to overtime, and actually held Sulphur Springs to force the overtime. And then they scored first and kicked their extra point. You scored. And so it's 35-34, and you can either kick the extra point and send it to the second overtime, or you can go for 2 and try to win it right there. So there was never any. I mean, was there any hesitation at all on your part?
No, only hesitation is, once they called their timeout. Of course, Laquinas, had a pretty good night running the football. Well, he cramped up on the touchdown to make it 34-35, and so he was not able to carry the ball on the 2-point conversion. Marcus White, who's had a great ball game himself, was in there, and I told the kids yesterday that the only mistake I made is I didn't tell Aquinas, cramp or no cramp, get in there and get us 3 yards because that's how much we're going to depend on him. We feel like that anybody we play, he ought to be able to line up and get 3 yards, even if he didn't have any line in front of him, and he's got a pretty good one. So, if I had to redo on that, I'd probably do that a little different, but it's just something we were trying to do, and in the future, they know that the line knows now that I'm going to depend on them in tough situations.
But for folks who are not familiar, this is what head coaches are called on to do. That's the job of the head coach. And it's easy to second guess. It's the tough part's making the first guess on this kind of stuff.
Well, like you and I talked about a while ago, ag teacher Steve Black, when I was in Fairfield trying to figure out if I should leave a team that's going to be what we thought was our best team since I've been there to come rebuild another program. Steve and I were talking one day, and he says, Coach, the problem with life is it's easy to go through life looking in the rearview mirror. He said, but the problem is you got to live it looking out the front windshield. Right. And that's the same thing when you're coaching. I told the kids.
That includes the bugs in the windshield.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's the same way in coaching. You're always going to go back and analyze every decision you made. The people in the stands, that's nothing on second guessing the coach, because he goes back every time after every decision and tries to analyze, did I make the right call? Would I do it different next time? What else should I done? What else should I have done? Because that's our, if we don't make good decisions, we don't end up getting to stay places very long. So we're always going to look and try to analyze what we did and why we did it.
Over your coaching career, do you ever remember another, this one, it doesn't sound like it was really a tough call for you at all, but do you remember other tough calls you had to make?
Well, I didn't make it, but I was a part of it in the semifinal game the year we won state in Bartlett. It was pouring down rain. We played right after Mark won the 2A Division I championship in front of us, and it was 4th and 1 on our own 39-yard line with 1 minute and 20-something seconds left in a tie ball game. And Coach Agnew, we decided to go for it. And knowing if we didn't win state, we was going to lose our jobs. We went to the semifinals and got rehired 3-2 the year before, so we knew he kind of needed to win it, and he went for it, and it worked out well. So that's the toughest. That one was easy compared to that one.
Do those kinds of decisions teach a coach a lesson over the years, good and bad, when you see others have to make those calls?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of look at and understanding. You got to do. You know, we're with this team every day of the year nearly, and with them a lot, and spend a lot of time. So, what the book tells you ought to do, a lot of times, is not going to work for your football team, and you got to really get to know those kids and know what they believe in and the mentality they have, and make decisions based on that. And then realize that, you know, that's life lessons for them. Sometimes you make a decision and it doesn't work out. You know, you can't quit. You just got to pick yourself up and buckle them up, and let's get back to work and try to improve.
Well, it's the old saying, you know, that really, really, really successful people have all been dead broke at some point, or felt like it.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Probably.
Yeah, you got to hit the bottom to realize how bad the bottom is.
But you didn't hit the bottom. I mean, you guys did a lot of good things Saturday night, didn't you?
They did. Kids did good. You know, what I was proud of is they played hard.
Yeah.
You know, they could have quit, you know, when they got down late, and you know, but they just kept battling. I think that's going to be the good thing about this group. We just want them to understand, and I think they do, is by district we want to have, we don't know how many games we're going to win in the preseason, but by district we want to have the best possible team with the best possible opportunity to make a playoff run. And so we're going to be moving people around. There's still some personnel issues we're trying to fix and things like that. So we'll figure it out before we play that first district game.
Positives, especially on the offensive side of the ball, I guess it'd begin with the quarterback, Wally Poster. Right?
Poster did a great job managing the offense, throwing the football. We threw and caught pretty decent. Had a few drops that killed drives on third down. You know, running game wise, the backs did a good job running hard, and the line, you know, of course, we're still going to get better at our assignments, but, you know, overall, we were very pleased offensively.
And the running game, LaQuintus Wallace, you're hoping to get that full season out of him. I know you said his hamstring cramped up a little bit.
Well, it's his calf
okay.
on the touchdown, but and that's just from, you know, it's pretty hot out there.
Yeah.
I'm not an East Texas guy by birth or anything, but I could definitely feel the humidity out there Friday night, and so, you know, there's some kids, they had some cramping, we had some cramping. You know, it's just getting the kids to hydrate well and doing the little things. But I really was pleased with our conditioning overall, because they were no huddle, bam, bam, here we go, and did a good job at it. So really I was pleased with the way the kids had themselves on Friday night in condition.
Defensively, I know Sulphur Springs moved the ball a lot. Just overall, how'd you feel the defense played?
You know, we're pretty frustrated until you go back and look at the film. You know, game time, you get pretty emotional, and you're just like everybody else. You want to win, you know, as bad as anybody. But once we go back and analyze the film, now we did have 31 missed tackles, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about that. First game's always scary because you really can't simulate the game speed and all that in practice and going live and against good people. And so we had 31 missed tackles. We have to clean that up. Our linebackers, you know, looking at their drops on the pass coverage, they're just a little bit off on their angles. Now Sulphur Springs was very good at throwing on time, and that guy was 24 of 27. And a lot of times, I mean, they're not him out of their break, and he's got the ball thrown to the spot, and the receiver gets to the spot, so they're good at what they do. But we'll have to improve on our tackling. We flew to the ball, played hard. Coach Anderson wasn't near as frustrated Sunday watching the film as he was Saturday night.
Yeah. And in the end, a 35-34 loss with a tough game coming up this week. I mean, that's Lufkin's these young men have played Lufkin every year that they've been at Robert E. Lee High School, and they need to beat them one time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we need to beat anybody at this point. But Lufkin's a good football team, and that's good though. I mean, the kids got to know that all you can do is you can show up every day. You can do the little things that's going to take you to be a champion and get better, and then go out there on Friday night and get after it and play to the best of your ability, and just always try to improve and play as hard as you can, and eventually it's going to work out for you if you do it as a team.
Coach Piske brings along game video. Again, a lot of good things, a lot of on offensive on both sides of the football on Saturday night at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. So let's roll the tape and get some highlights from the Red Raiders and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. You're in the red and black.
Yeah, this is early in the game. Miss LaQuintus, little zone play, had to bounce it. Did a good job. You know, right there, receivers, we're trying to get them to understand that if they have blocked downfield, that little play right there, instead of being a 15, 20-yard gain, it turned out to be a touchdown.
He wound up with 126 unofficially.
Something like
good game.
That. Yeah, and that's Marcus White. You know, Marcus, good little runner. Had to play both ways a lot more the other night, and we really wanted him to, but defense ended up needing him pretty bad. Now we're in our spread look.
And again, the quarterback, for those not familiar, is junior Riley Poster.
Riley, good job of being patient right there. Receiver finding the void.
That was a 3rd and long,
yeah,
too,
that's
I think,
DeAndre
wasn't it?
Allen, yes. We had 5 big plays. If you keep stats, you'll understand. They always look at big plays and turnovers, and big play for us is 20 yards plus. Our opponent had 5 20-yard plus. We had 5 20-yard plus. We had 1 turnover. They had 2 turnovers, which tells us we should have won the football game. And if you was there, you understood we should have won the football game. You know, come up a foot or so short. But no, these kids, I believe this is Lufkin again. Yep, fullback did it, you know, just didn't get to the outside thigh, but did a pretty good job. But again, that receiver gets his block down there, it turns into a touchdown.
Now, your first drive was a 5-minute touchdown drive, first drive of the night, which is a great way to start. Now you're on defense.
Right. Yeah, this is Deontay Walker coming off the edge there. They had an automatic stunt for a situation there, and so he came off the edge. Again, that's Marcus White. You know, Marcus ran it a little bit in the scrimmage, not a bunch, but.
How many plays on defense did he play? A lot?
Well, a lot more than we anticipated. I guess after the first or second series, Cedric Brown did a good job of setting it down there in the void, and Riley did a good job. Really, if you notice, too, they got time to do that. So if those old line wasn't up there holding that pressure out, then he wouldn't have time to be that patient. You know, guys, like I say, we're going to get better at throwing and catching. Had a few drops the other night that would have kept drives alive. Our team goal offensively is either score every possession or get 3 first downs, and we only had once that we didn't do that. That was that one when they pinned us deep. Of course, Loomy boomed it out.
Looking for the scoreboard there.
Yeah, we had a new camera guy, and we're going to have to, maybe we have to lean him out over the ledge so he can see the scoreboard.
I've done the same thing myself. Here's a nice run. Is that Lufkin or Marcus?
No, I think that's either Marcus or Nicola Willis came in
Nicola Willis, yes.
He came in some, but that's Marcus there.
What you got to love about Marcus, it takes him.
He's a football player.
He gets there quick.
Yeah.
Hit to the hole,
Yeah.
no messing around. He just north and south, right?
Really he is. He's just a football player. Now right here, Lufkin made a good second effort. Now he should have kept that wide from the beginning. He wouldn't have had that problem, but he did a good job of keeping his balance, and he's strong as an ox. And
that was a 3rd down and goal play too. Scored a touchdown.
Here that's Justin Uwini coming off the edge there. You know, we talked about it. These 4 linebackers, the 2 outside, 2 inside guys, none of them have played on a Friday night, and none of them in that position, and for sure hadn't played against a spread team. All they've seen is us in the spring, and you know, we're not spread, so they're going to get better at better. You know, if you see red shirts flying to the football, that's always a positive sign.
And I understand Sulphur Springs has a very good offense.
Well, I tell you what, and we were worried about that from day one of seeing them. They do a good job, and you know what we talked about.
Jay Roberson there, coach's son with the interception.
Yeah,
he
did good. Had a pretty good football game. Got beat one time in just a line. Got himself out of position. Got beat on a corner route, but. Yeah, you know, you think about it, and that's Sulphur Springs, and some, a lot of schools like that. But those kids have been running that since 7th grade, throwing that stuff. They're in the spread in their junior high stuff.
Right.
So, now this is Bryce Wilkerson. He's been nursing a groin. I think a sniper got him right there, but he's going to fill in some for us at tailback. We got to get him some touches.
I think this is a touchdown.
Nicola Willis right here. No, I think he gets tackled. Yeah, that's Nicola Willis right there. So offensively, it's probably got a lot of clips on here. So we had some pretty good plays, pretty good runs. That's Lufkin, and that's what we're trying to work on, is getting downhill and going north and south.
Almost scored on this play.
Yeah, did a good job keeping his balance.
Poster scored on a 1-yard run, but that was a heck of a play.
That's right. you know, we're just not coming to balance and understanding the angle that we got to attack somebody to come to balance and make a play. Now this is, had to put this on here. It's pretty sweet. Loomy booming this out there 60 yards. He's incredible. Now our left side, we kind of had a little talking yesterday, if you notice the blocking there. that was non-existent.
That's a 60-yard punt, as it turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good. He averaged 48 yards on 4 kicks, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. 4 touchbacks, I believe, on kickoffs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We got to get our kickoff team. We're getting a little nervous because they're getting to where they expect him to kick it out of the end zone, so they're not busting their tail getting down the field. So we got to stay on them.
Yeah.
Stay on them about that. It's Marquiston Williams, I think, right there catching that. He had a pretty good night.
Yes, look at the receiving. I mean, he spread it around, what, 6 different guys?
Yeah.
Caught passes.
Yeah, and it'll be like that.
Now here's the Josh Weiss-Carver-Smith's going to recover
yeah, that's a big
punt.
one right there for us. And that's what, you know, we spend a lot of time on special teams trying to get our kids to understand that, you know, we're going to get to where we're better than everybody we play on offense and defense, but we're going to make sure we're always better than they are on special teams. And so we spend a lot of time, a lot more time than probably a lot of people spend on special teams.
And that fumble recovery allowed you to put this touchdown drive to tie the football game up.
Without having to panic and go into a 2-minute offensive type situation, we were able just to run our normal offense with plenty of time, get down there and score, and you know, and then try not to give them a whole lot of time left because they score themselves.
They scored, and I think they call that back with a penalty, I believe, on that last play, so you did it again.
Yeah. Well, no, they called his knee down.
Called his knee down, okay.
Yeah. And you couldn't tell on film. We watched all 3 angles and couldn't tell, but.
Now, they get the ball back, and this, you're trying to
hold them out.
Hold them out.
To stay tied and go to overtime, which the defense did a good job.
Now you're in overtime.
2nd down in overtime. LaQuintis is going to take it to the house.
And he does for his third touchdown of the night. And again, the sequence after that was the moment you were down 1. That put you down 1, and you went ahead and went for 2. Mm-hmm. How close, by the way, did Marcus come on that play?
You know, we thought it was about half a yard away, but you watch the film, and what happened is one of he had to make a backside cut, and one of our guys, backside lineman, had fallen, and he said as he went to jump over him, both hamstrings locked up with cramps, so he just dove and stretched out, and then been a little, lacking on length a little bit. He really probably came up about a foot short. Looking at it on film, the ball hits the turf with his hand about a foot short. So it goes that way sometimes.
Yeah, it goes that way sometimes. Your offensive line, though, overall graded out pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, they did a good job. Really, they're still going to just get better at using their hands and bringing their feet. That's the little things that they're missing, but they're getting better and better and better on taking the right step and doing that kind of thing. So we're excited about that. I
had a chance on Monday to talk to Jay Roberson, who made the interception earlier. He's a coach's son. Great young man. And I also talked to Lane Hager this week, Zach Page last week.
Yeah.
Mature guys. And I generally try to talk to seniors for our radio pregame show. Impressed with just how serious, mature these young guys are.
Oh yeah, they're good kids. I mean, that's the thing about it is we're going to be fine. We've got good kids, and they understand things and they rationalize pretty well for teenagers. And so, that's one thing that we're blessed with here at Tyler Lee and Robert E. Lee is we got great kids, and so it's a great place to raise your kids and go to school and coach, and it's going to be fun.
How much, as the season wears on, especially with your seniors, how much more can you trust them to make their own decisions on the field? Because you can't be out there with them. You can in a scrimmage, but during the game, they have to kind of know what to do, right?
And that's the toughest part, really, when you get somewhere is trying to get them to understand. And I've had parents, they get mad at me because I hadn't called them about little Johnny or something, doing something, and I always go, we got to teach them to think on their own, because you're not going to be in the huddle with them. I'm not going to be in the huddle with them. So they got to do what they know is right, what they've been coached to do. And so that's the process. That's part of the process, getting kids to make the right decision doing what their parents tell them to do or what they're coached to do in the heat of battle, and it's just there's no magic potion to throw on a team and take them from 1-9 to heroes, but it's just a process of figuring out all the little things and getting it done.
Now, as far as injuries are concerned, anybody get hurt Saturday?
No, Prides, a lot of Prides did.
Yeah,
but,
right. You can cure that.
Other than the guy named Pride, we came out pretty healthy. Really, I was excited, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing because Longview, for instance, their quarterback Caraway got banged up against Coppell, and I mean, if you can get through the games healthy, then you've always got a chance to fight again another day.
That's right. That's right. It's a tough deal to lose good kids, good players, or any kid. You don't want to see them get hurt, but some of your key guys that are really the main focus on your offense, like the Caraway kid and stuff like that, it puts you in a bind.
I was talking to a couple of your guys and especially the seniors, and I know they really, really want to win, and don't they at this point? I mean, winning's a habit, so is losing. I mean,
that's right.
Just to get one. Yeah. To kind of get that mindset going.
Well, and you got to break little habits that cause you. There's a reason that you're losing, and you got to break those habits. And get the right mindset and the right practice habits and work habits, and those it takes some time. And when it happens, it usually happens for quite some time when you get all those things fixed. It's not just you win one and then go back to your same old stuff. So we're just going to keep plugging and fixing the little things, and you take care of enough of them little things, big things take care of themselves.
And by the way, for folks who wonder about the schedule, Monday was Labor Day. And a lot of people are off except you guys. You worked out.
Yeah, it's I
as
remember,
do all football.
Yeah, I remember back in high school. Typically you want to work out early on Monday morning. That way you finish practice and your kids can get away, your coaches can get away. But having that Saturday night game, we kind of had to prepare all day Sunday and then come back yesterday morning, prepare and be ready for practice. But yeah, I remember in high school, which was a long time ago, and the Coach Johnson saying, "Boys, Monday's Labor Day and we're going to labor." Yeah. So we always get to follow that tradition.
But the point is the commitment these young men make when they sign up to play football. It is it just kind of, it's a serious commitment that they have to do. There's a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the ones that aren't there, what they don't get, and they're, some of them be setting some game time and stuff like that for missing, but, there's other guys counting on you. And that's when you win football games, or really winning anything, is when you care more about that other guy than you do yourself. So you're not going to miss practice, because I know, Paul over there is going to be at practice and he counts on me. And so that's a big thing when you commit to a team. And I was proud yesterday, freshmen had good attendance, and JV had good attendance. So, they get that mindset that they care more about those guys, and I'm going to be there for those guys, and we're going to be fine. But it's a lot of work.
Isn't that the whole point of team sports, basically?
Pretty much. It's pretty much life, because everybody's usually going to work with people.
Right.
And so you got to learn to be a team player and do that kind of thing. So that's a great thing about athletics. You really, if you look at it, you learn a lot of lessons that'll carry you a long ways in life if you just pay attention to them.
All right. So this week now you're getting ready for a Lufkin team. You saw them. You got a chance to get a really good look at them on Friday night because they played John Tyler. Now JT's very good, and they beat them, but still Lufkin's pretty tough.
Yeah, that's right. Really Lufkin, as good as John Tyler, they're just unbelievable. But Lufkin, as good as John Tyler is, Lufkin had several chances to stay in the game and maybe even win the game down the road. I think they got down there, they threw an interception once deep in John Tyler's territory. They missed a field goal once down there. I think they were down there 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times where they didn't come out with any points. So. They held John Tyler to 31 points. That's from what I've seen.
35.
That's pretty good though. To hold them that low. Because those guys can go, but they're, defensively they're going to be multiple on defense. We've seen 8,000 different defenses out of them. Defensive line guys are just huge. They really are big guys. 96, 91. They're big players. Their outside linebackers, inside linebackers do a good job of running downhill, and the outside guys really set the edge and try to keep you from getting outside. Offensively, they got 83 is a great receiver, big kid. They got a little number 2 inside that can go. Their quarterback's 6'5", I think already committed to Texas A&M to play baseball. And so they've got some players. So it's it's not like we come up short last week and get to go play Caspers this week or something, you know, some ghosts, but we get to play another good football team. So we have to get prepared and work hard and get better and see where we are on Friday.
Your first road game to Lufkin, I'm sure you heard lots of stories about it, right?
Yeah, but, you know, that's most places, you know, you usually don't feel like you get the best hospitality, I guess is the word to use when you go over there, but no, we'll just show up, and that's the thing, you know, kids have to learn when you go into a hostile environment. You just don't worry about all that. Just play football and get after it.
These old East Texas rivalries have all been kind of fun over the years. You're kind of getting your first dose of some of them, and Lufkin's one of them. I mean, it's, you know, there's a lot. You're not in the same district with them anymore, but nothing's changed. I mean, you play them every year.
Yeah,
basically.
That's right.
So,
probably goes back probably longer than I've been born, probably, but. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Coach Quick is in, and then he's a first-year coach too, but been there forever.
Yeah.
And a tough situation that he's been placed under. Coach Outlaw was revered and passed away back in December. So you know that's a tough chore to step in, and a lot of expectations too.
And he's, you know, from what I saw the other night, he's doing a good job, and I, you know, got to talk with him a little bit, but he's a great guy and seemed like a good person. So. You know, that's tough to step in, you know, and follow somebody. It's easier to, like, if you follow me, you know, it's a lot easier, but you follow a guy like Coach Outlaw, I mean, that's got to be tough to follow such a great man that built a program, put it where it is.
We talked about a lot of young men. One guy we haven't said much about, your kicker, Lemmy Kaba. I mean, you still going to let him try a 60-yard field goal sometime?
I promise you, before it's over, you know, I wish the other night game would have come down to Lemmy cooking a field goal because you know, just to let him get a taste of that. He's unbelievable, honestly. I talk about him every day. Normally you don't talk about your kickers that much until they miss one, but Lumi's such a good one that really I'm telling them about him every day. He's going to be special.
Anybody else that we haven't touched on that you just really you know want to single out this week?
You know, every week we do MVPs, and we had an offensive MVP was Riley Poster.
Okay.
Our specials teams MVP was Lumi Kaba. We didn't have a defensive MVP. We do these things called bubble busters. We have a little poster on the wall, and we give bubble awards, and that's for when you hit them so hard that bubbles come out their nose. So I think we had 5 of those. You know, on special teams, I remember Adam Amy had one. Of course, Deontay, you saw his on the defensive highlight, but. You know, a lot of those special teams kids, that's the unsung guys that are going down there on punt teams and kickoff teams and doing the little things, you know, like Wise Carver getting down there in position to recover that fumble, to put us in position to go tie the football game. So, you know, all those guys are doing good, and they'll get their rewards when we get where we need to be and get in the playoffs, and let them have a little fun doing that.
All right, good luck.
I appreciate it.
All right, Lufkin is Friday night at Abe Martin Stadium, and kickoff is at 7:30, and the Red Raiders need and deserve your support, so let's take a good crowd to Lufkin to watch the Red Raiders and the Lufkin Panthers on Friday night at Abe Martin Stadium. For Coach Piske, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.